Alright, good afternoon everyone and welcome to today's webinar on Connecting Up's Donations Program Overview. My name is Christine and I'm the Events and Membership Coordinator at Connecting Up. Some of you might have heard me from previous webinars, so thank you for joining us again. With me today we have Ryan sitting across me, who's ready to do a presentation on going through the technology donations and discount program with you to show you how it works, what programs, also what products are available, how you can access them, and obviously to take any questions that you might have. So if you do have any questions, please type them in the question box on your webinar panel and we will address them one by one as we go along. So we'll try to make it as interactive as possible. So this is your chance to ask anything that you've been thinking about or any particular problem you might have, and we'll try our best to address them. Without further ado, Ryan does have a fair bit to cover, so I will hand it over to him. Over to you, Ryan.
Thanks, Christine. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We actually ran this very similar webinar in New Zealand, slightly shorter one this morning, and it was a little bit over time, but we want to make sure that we give everyone a chance to get any questions that they might have answered. So I'll ask away, and the only time I won't answer a question is if I'm about to cover it on the next slide. So welcome. Thanks for joining us. Let's start with what the donations program is. So when a lot of you registered with Connecting Up originally, you probably remember the name Donatech. So the Donatech name, we've retired that, and the program's now called the Connecting Up Donations Program. We run the donations program in partnership with TechSoup Global, and the TechSoup Global Network is a network of not-for-profits that run similar programs in 40 countries worldwide. Connecting Up run this program in New Zealand, and we're also involved in the program in Southeast Asia. So basically, through this program, technology companies such as Microsoft, Cisco, Adobe, Symantec, and more donate their products to Australian not-for-profits. So the idea is that not-for-profits can spend their money on service delivery and helping those that really need it, rather than spending it on IT equipment. Each donor partner offers a generous amount of software and or hardware that can be donated to each organisation, and in some cases we can now assist with any extra you may need over and above your allocation. We don't actually receive any funding for this program. It's not government funded at all. The program is made possible by the support of the companies that are donating. Microsoft, Adobe, Symantec, Cisco, all the people you can see on the screen there, they all donate their products. The program's sustainable. We charge a small administration fee on each order, which is generally equal to about 4 to 8% of retail price. So that's the donations program. So what we've done now is we've split out the discount program. So some of you would be familiar with the discount program, but some of the logos on the screen may not be 100% familiar. So we have some organisations that discount their products instead of donating. They have a range of different reasons for doing this, but they still want to help the not-for-profit community, so they start out by discounting. So this range has recently been expanded to include discounted charity licensing for Microsoft and Adobe. So this is above and beyond their donation programs, and through the discount program you're able to access additional licenses, and there's also expanded eligibility when compared to the donations programs. So if you're not eligible for the Microsoft or Adobe donation programs, you may be eligible for substantial discounts through their discounts programs. Our most popular discount program at the moment is our Refurbished Computer program. So this includes discounted refurbished Mac and PC computers and laptops with a growing amount of printers, monitors and other items that you have all been asking us for. We also have available Antivirus from Kaspersky and Sophos for larger organisations, and some networking equipment from D-Link. So now what I want to do is when I've run these in the past, I've gone through what each partner has to offer. But what we've done this time is we've gone through, when you registered for the webinar, we asked you what you wanted us to cover, what issues you had. And so I've gone through and I've put all those questions together, and what we're basically going to do is answer the questions and look at some uses and some of the ways that donated and discounted technology can help you out. So a lot of people wanted to know what our most popular products were. What is it that most organisations get from the donations program that benefits their organisation? The Microsoft donation program is quite clearly our most popular donations program. Microsoft donations make up the lion's share of all of our orders. Most small organisations, when they first hear about and they first get into the donations program, they take the opportunity to upgrade all of their computers to the same version of Windows and Office, even if they've only got 1 or 2 computers. For the last few years, Microsoft have made it possible that you can order as little as 1 license for whatever you need, whenever you need it. So getting the same version of Windows and Office means that you can switch between computers easily. You don't have any learning curve adjusting to other people's computers. And you can also send those Word files over to your colleagues without the hassle of worrying about whether they've got the right fonts or whether something's right or wrong or whatever might be the case. It does end up making a big difference over time. A little bit here and there really helps. Organisations with more computers and more staff and more requirements generally eventually they end up ordering Windows Server and some of the other server-related titles that we've got available. And the amount that they can save through the donations program quite often enables them to be able to afford IT contractors to properly install and set up their server. So the server would allow these organisations to share their files at a common area, and then some of them go down the road of ordering things like Microsoft Exchange, and they install Microsoft Exchange on their server to allow them to host their own shared email and calendars. Microsoft SharePoint's another common one, and Microsoft Dynamics, but definitely nowhere near as popular as Windows and Office. The other one, of course, that's made a big impact since it launched late last year is the Adobe program. And Adobe Creative Suite 6 Design and Web Premium is probably the most popular product in that range at the moment. It includes pretty much every tool that you need for web and print design. You get Photoshop, which is industry standard video photo editing these days. You get Acrobat to produce PDFs, interactive forms, all those kind of things. You get Dreamweaver for website development and more. I'll go into it in a bit more detail later on, but that's become one of the most popular ones. For some of the smaller organizations that are just getting out, just getting into graphics, the Adobe Photoshop and Premiere Elements bundle has been really popular as well.
I have one question more on the generic program overall. Is this in any way comparable to a program done by the Adult Community and Further Education Volume License Scheme?
No. If you're talking about the program in Victoria for training organisations, it's quite different. We've actually only just found out about that ourselves. The Victorian government runs a very attractive scheme for Victorian, I think they're not-for-profit RTOs, registered training organisations, and this is outside of that. So one of the things that's unique about the donations program is that the Microsoft donations are actually volume licenses. So this means that when you first get a Microsoft donation, you have to register for the Microsoft Volume License Service Center, but the benefit is that it provides you with 2 years of software assurance. Software assurance is a Microsoft scheme that gives you upgrade and downgrade rights to all the software you acquire through the donations program for 2 years. So an example is if you order Office 2013 today, but every other computer in your organization is running Office 2010, then you can downgrade to Office 2010 if you like. If Microsoft end up releasing a new version of Office next year, so Office 2014 comes out next year, that would be within the 2 years. So you can just log on to the Volume License Service Center and you can just download that software. And you get all the information about signing up to the Volume License Center when you place your first Microsoft donation request. So all that information is on the Volume License Center, all of your keys, and you can download the software as soon as it becomes available, which is often even before the retail release. Microsoft Office 2013, as one of our most popular products, I thought I'd just have a quick look at Office 2013. It's the latest, it's just come out, it's about 2 or 3 months old, and for those that are wondering, it's more of an evolution of Office 2010 than a revolution. It's a refinement of the interface and the concepts that Microsoft started introducing us to in Office 2007. And if you're still using Office 2003, it is a bit different. But those of us who are familiar with 2007, 2010 will find it pretty easy to pick up. Office includes all of the basic Office applications that we've become used to. So Word, Excel, PowerPoint and Outlook, which every organization uses these days, as well as Publisher, which is a great program for producing newsletters and posters. There are also some great features to work on documents and review them as a team, and central document saving for using the cloud or using your own internal server. I've actually been using Office 2013 myself for the last couple of weeks, and I really like it. I really think that it's a lot more stable, it's a bit more responsive than Office 2010, and I think that there'd be no reason why you wouldn't want to upgrade if you're on 2010. It's just like a newer update for it. The standard version of Office 2013 that's available through the donations program includes Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook for email and calendars, Publisher, OneNote, which is a note-taking app, and SkyDrive Pro, which can be used to connect to your server to share files over the network that way. The Professional Plus version is also available. For most organizations, you probably won't need the Professional version. It just depends on what you're using. Professional Plus will add Microsoft Access for local databases, InfoPath, Link. So if you're running Microsoft Link on your server for internal communications, and Business Contact Manager for Outlook, which I know a lot of people still use.
I have a few questions here in terms of Microsoft. This question has come up a couple of times in the past as well. Are discounts offered for the Microsoft 365 cloud-based software?
If you're interested in Office 365, we're currently doing some testing and we're currently looking into it. If you can email me after the webinar, my email is rj@connectingup.org, then I'll connect you with the people on our team that are looking at that at the moment.
Thanks, Ryan. And there's just another question in terms, we're covering Office, but I believe you'll be covering about Windows operating system next?
That's my next slide.
Okay.
Is that the last question? Okay, cool. Hey, look, it's Windows. Windows 8 is the latest and greatest operating system from Microsoft. And I say the greatest because once you get used to that new start menu, which does take some getting used to, Windows 8 is faster than previous version of Windows, as well as being more secure and reliable. We've migrated most of our computers in the office over now, and pretty much everybody has found that Windows 8 has been more responsive, more stable, less issues, and yeah, we're really happy that we switched over. One of the big things with the launch of Windows 8 though was that at the same time Microsoft announced that they were ending support for Windows XP. So if you still do have any computers in your office that are running Windows XP, now is the time to upgrade. And we recommend that you upgrade before April next year when the support ends. So when Microsoft say they're ending support, that means no more patches, no more security updates, nothing like that. So your software will still run, but if you're after security, then it's a good idea to upgrade to either Windows 7 or Windows 8. So Windows 7 is still available through the donations program if you do need that. Otherwise, you can always order Windows 8, and with your software assurance, you can downgrade. All right. Really common question we get here a lot is website development. What do I need? What should I use? Do we have anything available? So one of the leading solutions out there now for website development is the Adobe Creative Suite 6, Design and Web Premium. So when Adobe released Creative Suite 6, they had a rethink of their bundles and they went, okay, well, a lot of people are doing design for print and web at the same time now, so let's combine them and let's put all the tools you need to produce great print and web content in one bundle. So Creative Suite 6 gives you Adobe Photoshop and Adobe Fireworks, which are great for producing graphics for the web. If you have a look at the graphics on the website, most of them are made by Ben, our Content and Community Coordinator, using Fireworks. And the ones that I do, I use Photoshop because I don't like Fireworks. Adobe Dreamweaver is a great HTML editor and visual website editing tool. Adobe have also included features in Dreamweaver now for tablet interfaces and grid layouts, if you're aware of grid layouts and you're working with grids. And a lot of extra tools that have responded to all of the feedback. Adobe InDesign is a great print tool for producing newsletters, flyers, things like that. All of our flyers and collateral connecting up are all designed in Adobe InDesign. Adobe Acrobat 10 Pro comes with Creative Suite 6. And it gives you the ability to convert your print brochures into web use. And the big benefit of Adobe Acrobat Pro is the ability to put security features on documents. So if you have sensitive information that you do need to distribute digitally, then Acrobat Pro will just give you that little bit extra protection.
Ryan, there's a question here from Scott. Is there any chance of connecting up getting discounted versions of Reckon accounts? Have you heard of the software Reckon accounts?
We are looking at a couple of different accounting tools at the moment, I don't think Reckon is on that list, but I will get it added to that list. Yeah, if you have any queries about products that are available, maybe if we can leave those questions until the end, because I do have a lot more to go through, and I'll probably end up answering half of those questions as we go. All right, so antivirus. Antivirus is another one of our popular product ranges. So most popular is the Symantec range. Symantec donate both the desktop and enterprise solutions. So one of the most common ones that we get requests for is the Norton 360 range. So Symantec will donate Norton 360, which is a great solution for one-off computers. They also donate Norton Antivirus for Mac and a few other Symantec desktop solutions, but Norton for Mac and Norton 360 are the two most popular ones there. The enterprise range, Symantec Endpoint Protection, is a very popular program for securing larger organizations. So we generally see that when you get up to probably the 20 plus computer bracket, then you start to look at solutions which can be controlled centrally, and you have IT staff that look at those kind of solutions. One of the other really popular solutions in the Semantic Enterprise range is their Backup Exec tool. Backup Exec is a great backup solution which can be used to back up all your computers to a server and then back up the server, or a whole different range of backup scenarios that will fit pretty much everyone's requirements. It's definitely our most popular backup solution product. Now with the Semantic products, if you want to order the Semantic products, just order the number of licenses that you need. You can place one order per year, and then when that software comes up for renewal, the software will continue to run even if you don't renew it, but without renewing it, you don't get the up-to-date virus definitions, which are what you get the most benefit out of with one of these solutions. So if you want to renew your semantic protection, just request a new donation. Just place another order for exactly the same product, and you can keep on going with that product. In terms of our discount range, we have the Kaspersky and Sophos discounted products. These are more of an enterprise grade solution. Sophos and particularly Kaspersky have just released a new endpoint security for business range, and there are some really great features in the new range which are specifically targeted at organizations that would have, again, probably 20 plus computers. Their pricing actually scales to organizations that would have 2,500. So those solutions are definitely aimed at larger organizations, but there are some great products there to control and protect mobile phones, to control all kinds of different computers, and to more centrally manage the software and the computers, which makes your IT staff's job a lot easier. With the Sophos and Kaspersky ranges, you can order an initial product, and then for renewal there are specific renewal licenses which are cheaper. If you're currently using a product which is not Kaspersky, Kaspersky will actually offer special cross-grade pricing. So for them a cross-grade is if you switch to Kaspersky from a competing solution. So if you're a larger organization, I would definitely have a look at the Sophos and Kaspersky products. If you're a smaller organization, then Semantic, the Norton protection would do just fine.
While we're waiting, if there's any question on antivirus, there was a question a little bit earlier about just after you went through some Adobe things. Do you think Dreamweaver is okay for beginners? Is it easy enough to use?
Depending on what kind of website you've got, I would say yes. You can do some basic things with it quite easily, and then there's a learning curve to do more complicated things. If you're a complete beginner, what I'd probably recommend you do is have a look on our YouTube channel. We have some webinar recordings from last year where we looked at content management systems. See if you can get somebody to help you set up a basic content management system, and that way you won't have to worry about all of the complicated HTML editing and things like that. You can concentrate mainly on publishing content.
We don't have any question on antivirus at this point, so maybe we can just go ahead with the presentation.
Sure, okay, so making PDFs is another really common question we get here. Adobe Acrobat Pro 11 is the latest version of Adobe's PDF creating tool. The important thing to note is that I said Adobe Acrobat 11. Adobe Acrobat Pro 10 is included in CS6 Design and Web Premium bundle, but Adobe Acrobat 11 is only available as a standalone product at this point. So Acrobat 11 gives you a lot more control over your PDFs, including the ability to adjust and compress PDFs for email, prepare documents for print, and secure documents which might contain sensitive material. Now the main advantage of Acrobat 11 over previous versions of Acrobat is those security features. So if you are dealing with sensitive documents, then the security features might be important to you. The other thing to note is that through the Adobe program, you are limited to one creative suite per year or 4 individual products. So if you have one member of staff that does all of your graphics works, then order the creative suite for them, or order the creative suite for you, and they'll have all of the tools at their disposal that they need. If you have a number of staff that might need to be able to create secure PDFs, then you're able to order up to 4 copies of Acrobat Pro 11. The other thing is that in Microsoft Office 2013, there is some limited PDF creation and editing functionality included. So for many organisations that just want to produce basic PDFs from Word documents, this may be sufficient. There's also some functionality in there now to actually edit PDFs, but that's not something we've tested here yet. So you can give it a try and see how you go, and if it meets your requirements, then maybe you don't need Acrobat.
So just to clarify, we can only have one suite of Adobe per business?
You can only order one Adobe Creative Suite per organisation per year. If you need more than one Creative Suite, then we can help you with discounted Adobe Creative Suites through the discount program.
And what about InDesign compared to PowerPoint for slides and video integrations? What are your thoughts on that?
Interesting question. Adobe are really pushing the ability for InDesign at the moment to be used to prepare digital books and things like that for tablets. It's not something that I've played with yet. It's something I keep meaning to do but never quite get to. Some of the PowerPoint slides that I've seen coming out of PowerPoint 2013 are incredible. They're very engaging. They're very, very beautiful slides. So I would definitely have a look at PowerPoint 2013, mainly because it's a little bit more focused. It's more designed specifically for that presentation software versus InDesign, which is more of a graphic design tool.
You mentioned the package before, and can you just repeat the name of the package instead of using Acrobat 11?
Acrobat 11 Pro is the standalone, and you get Acrobat 10 Pro in Adobe Creative Suite 6 Design and Web Premium. So Creative Suite 6 is abbreviated to CS6.
So is Adobe Suite 6 in the donations program or the discount, or is it both?
Both.
So how much is the discount in the product under the discounts program? Just generally, is it, I guess it depends on the partner, but ranging between a certain percentage, 10%, 50%?
It definitely does depend on the partner. All of the partners are different, and I don't have all of the numbers off the top of my head. We do try and make sure that they are the best deal that's possibly in the market for not-for-profits though.
Will our website show how much the discount is compared to retail price?
No, it won't.
You can find the price on the website. So if you just go to our website, you'll see how much it costs. All right, well, we'll probably just continue the presentation at this point, Ryan.
Sure, okay. So a lot of people have been asking about fundraising management and donor management. And there are a couple of different tools that we offer for this purpose. I guess you'd probably say a beginner and an advanced solution. So GiftWorks is a great fundraising and donor management tool that was designed specifically for not-for-profits. GiftWorks can be used to track donors and donations, and it provides reporting and email features so that you can keep engaged with your donors. GiftWorks have a really specific area of giving, and they donate specifically to very small organisations, and they determine the size of an organisation based on turnover. So if your organisation doesn't qualify for GiftWorks, it's probably because your turnover is too high to access that software. And if that's the case, then a more advanced solution is Microsoft Dynamics. So Microsoft Dynamics is a CRM system or a customer or constituent relationship management system, which can be customized and developed into a solution to allow you to track donors. The learning curve will be a lot higher to implement Dynamics than it would be for GiftWorks. GiftWorks is designed out of the box to be put together to enable not-for-profits to just get on with their fundraising. But if you can get contractors to set up Dynamics for you, and there are templates available to help you convert Dynamics to be about donations and donors. But the thing with Dynamics is that it will be able to be accessed by more users. So if you have a team of, say, 5 people that need to be able to access donor information and converse with donors, Dynamics might be a better solution for you.
What about other solutions like CVCRM, considering it is free and is web-based?
Yeah, well, CVCRM is obviously not available through the donations program because it's free and open source. A lot of the issues with implementing CVCRM are going to be exactly the same issues as you would have implementing Dynamics. CVCRM does require quite a lot of customization to get it up and running, and there are people out there that can do that customization for you. We actually do have previous webinar recordings on our YouTube channel on both CVCRM and Dynamics. We use CVCRM as part of our platform to provide us with all the information on orders and to enable our customer support team to function really. CVCRM was designed for accepting donations really, and it specifically for political parties. And one of the good examples of a CVCRM implementation is the Australian Greens website. So if you are interested in CVCRM, definitely have a look at our YouTube channel and get some more information. But being as we don't cover it in the, don't offer it in the donations program, I haven't really included it in today's presentation.
What is the, do you know off the top of your head, what is the threshold for GiftWorks to determine small charitable organisations?
I think it's turnover of 50,000 a year, but don't quote me on that.
You contact us and we'll be able to get back to you in more detail on that. So if you just contact the customer care team, we'll be...
I'll show you in a minute exactly how you can see who you qualify for, and on the website under the frequently asked questions, that GiftWorks question would be answered. We do have quite a number of partners that do determine the size of an organisation based on turnover. So if your turnover has a large increase or decrease, I would definitely recommend that you send us a copy of your annual report with the financials in it. And we keep that confidential, of course, but it enables us to requalify your organisation if your turnover suddenly drops to a point that you might be eligible for more partners. Okay, so grants management is another thing that a lot of people come to ask us about. And Microsoft Project is a really popular solution for managing the implementation of activities around grants. Microsoft Project includes the ability to manage tasks and programs, so you can keep a track of milestones and other project management requirements. So it makes your reporting on your grants a lot easier because you know who's done what when, you know when your milestones were done, You can export out your Gantt charts and other project management documentation that you might need. And it's available in, there's 3 different versions, but there's 2 basic different models that it's available. Project Standard and Project Professional are essentially designed for one person, whereas there is a project server that you can install on your Windows server, and you can use that software to communicate across your team and track milestones and activities across your entire team. So if you've got a group of people, the server solution would be great.
Is this project available for Mac users? And is the software compatible across both if someone has both Mac and PCs?
We were having that exact same discussion this morning because I am one of 2 Mac users in the office. My understanding, well, the project isn't available for Mac. However, my understanding is that a lot of these new Microsoft products, the server version actually has an interface for SharePoint. So a lot of these new Microsoft products, Dynamics is a perfect example. Dynamics isn't Mac compatible, but Dynamics, when it's installed on a Windows server with, I'm pretty sure you need SharePoint, Mac users can log on to a website and Mac users can access, certainly you can access Dynamics over a website. I'd need to double check about Project. So networking is something that every not-for-profit with multiple computers really needs to look into and really needs to consider. So networking your computer together can enable you to share internet connections, printers, other resources, connect to servers, whatever you might need. So Cisco offer a limited donation program which reopened today. The Cisco, because they're donating physical hardware, they have a budget that they allocate once a quarter. And so as a result, when the program opens, anybody who's eligible for Cisco donations should go on and place their orders, and the allocated stock goes very quickly because of how popular the program is. So Cisco products are enterprise-grade networking equipment, and they include network hubs and switches, wireless access points, and some other necessary accessories to make it all work together. Sorry. D-Link, on the other hand, are a relatively new discount partner for us. So D-Link discount a wide range of their enterprise products for not-for-profits. So as a result of it being a discount program rather than a donation program, it isn't limited and it is open to a wider range of products. And some of the really good products that are available through the D-Link range that we haven't had available previously are things like network surveillance equipment, including network cameras, network data recorders to record the video. All of the network surveillance equipment, you can access the cameras over mobile phones. Network storage solutions. So some of you might have NAS drives, or network attached storage, or you might need enterprise grade storage to connect to your server for backup or to store large assets, as well as the usual accessories like network hubs and switches and wireless access points and things like that. If you are looking to overhaul your network, D-Link will also provide your not-for-profit with a free network audit so you can get the best equipment for your exact requirements.
Cisco do teleconferencing equipment?
Not in the donation range, no.
Cisco donation criteria is quite strict. Our member agencies are able to access products, but we are unable to. Can you explain the eligibility criteria for Cisco?
Cisco have a specific area of giving on organisations that support the, I think it's support the poor. And as a result, their eligibility is quite restricted. And it also comes back to the fact that their budget is restricted as well. So I know that the Cisco program is very limited, but at the same time, that's why we've gone and sought partners like D-Link to assist those that aren't Cisco qualified. Now, our Refurbished Computer program is one of our more popular programs these days. Since we launched it a couple of years ago now, it's expanded to include a range of different desktops and laptops. There's a range of PCs and Macs. However, if you see Macs in the Refurbished Computer range, order them then and there. Don't think about it. If you do need Macs, we generally get very small quantities of Macs, and they generally sell out within a couple of hours of us getting new stock. So we're constantly working to get more, and we know people really want them, but we try and get them as soon as we can and when we can. All of the computers that are available through the Refurbished Computer program are refurbished by Microsoft authorized refurbishers. Well, all the PCs are, and they're pre-installed with Windows 7 Professional and Office 2007 Home and Student Edition. So Windows 7 Professional will give you all of the networking functionality that you need, and it will also allow you to upgrade using the upgrades that are available through the donations program. And Office 2007 Home and Student gives you the basic Office functionality. I think you get Word, Excel, and PowerPoint in that range. And if you need Office 2013, that's obviously available in the donation and the discount range. One of the cool things about the Refurbished Computer program is, as of yesterday, we've just been able to secure some data projectors which have very few hours, like they're barely used data projectors. I think we have 5 projectors, and they're 5 projectors, and they're around about $160 each at the moment. So if anyone's ever looked at data projectors, that's a huge saving. We have also only just added brand new Lenovo desktop and laptop computers. So most of the machines that are available through the program are refurbished. These Lenovo's that have just gone up are brand new. We've been able to get a special price on them. So again, everything available through the Refurbished Computer program we get limited quantities of. So have a look and see whether they fit your requirements. And if they do, jump on and place an order.
A few questions on refurbished. Where does the refurbished equipment come from?
Majority of the refurbished equipment comes from large corporates. They get managed IT services, and their computers are generally replaced after 2, maybe 3 years. So when they're taken out of that business, they are cleaned up, they are checked, they are pre-installed with the Microsoft authorized refurbisher licenses, and then they're offered out to not-for-profits at a significant discount. Every machine that gets offered to us from our various suppliers, we go through, we double check the specs, and we make sure that they're all able to run. Our minimum requirements are they must be able to run Windows 8, and they must be able to run Office 2013. They must be dual core at a minimum, and you can now order them with the amount of RAM that you need. You can order them with or without Kaspersky Desktop Antivirus, and you can order the desktops with or without high-speed wireless. So they come from a range of different places, and they're thoroughly quality checked before they go out. So they've done a little work, and they're ready to go, really.
Are we looking into getting tablets for the refurbished program?
We have been looking into getting tablets. You may have received an email from us about 6 weeks ago. We got some older tablet laptops. So the laptops with the twist screen which you can use a pen on. The problem with tablets that we've got at the moment is they're becoming a consumable device, so they don't generally come up refurbished because by the time they're ready to be replaced, they're not really any good for not-for-profits to use. They're not something that you'd want to buy second-hand. And at the same time, what we're seeing in the market is the price is coming down so much that there's really not a lot of point in us offering a lot of the tablets, because you could go out and go to your local store, your JB Hi-Fi or whatever it might be, and you can generally get a really good price on a lot of the tablets that are out there. The entire point of our refurbished computer program is to help not-for-profits, and if we can't offer tablets at a price which is the best that we can possibly get, then we just won't offer them. So hopefully one day, but you can be guaranteed that when they do come out, we will let everybody know, and it'll be something special.
Can refurbished equipment be sent to NFPs in remote communities? Often similar programs are restricted to us because of our location.
We can definitely assist with that. There are some rules around the Microsoft authorized refurbishing licenses, but there are some, we have in the past, and we can do again, special orders of refurbished computers which are built to those requirements. So again, if you send me an email, rj@connectingup.org, I'll be able to look into that for you.
In the interest of time, we might continue the presentation, and I do have a few more questions pending, but I'll just ask them at the end.
Okay, sure. Okay, so that's pretty much the end of the formal part of the presentation. So I've got a couple of things that I actually want to bring to your attention and demonstrate on the website. Before we do that, this is a really important URL, which I will show you where to find it in a minute. So connectingup.org/donations/Microsoft_donation_center, spelt the US way. The Microsoft Donation Center gives you a complete rundown, if you're Microsoft eligible, a complete rundown of all the licenses that you have or can order. So here's one I prepared earlier. This is my Microsoft Donation Center. And when I say my, it's Connecting Up's Donation Center. So we're a not-for-profit ourselves. We're eligible for Microsoft donations, so we've placed some orders. So this is what you get when you go to your Microsoft Donation Center. Shows your organization name. All Microsoft donations occur in a 2-year cycle. So in a 2-year cycle, you can order up to 10 title groups and up to 50 licenses from each title group. And I'll go through some examples of title groups in a second. But so that's up to 500 licenses. Yes, 500. So once you've ordered your 500 licenses, you have to wait until the end of your 2-year cycle to order more. So in our case, our first Microsoft order was, or in this cycle, was the 6th of February 2012. And so our 2-year cycle ends on the 5th of February 2014. So it shows when our 2-year cycle, our next 2-year cycle begins. It shows some of the basic Microsoft donation program rules. So request donations from up to 10 groups, 50 licenses, up to 5 server licenses, and I'll show you that in a minute. And there's no limit to the number of requests you can make. So you can request a license of Office 2013 today, then tomorrow you can request a license of Windows 8, and then the next day, and so on if you really want. Shows over here that Connecting Up have received almost $70,000 worth of Microsoft software donations. So as you can see, if you had to pay retail price for this software, it'd make a big hole in the budget, and Microsoft in particular really want that, would really rather see that $70,000 go into providing extra support staff or providing extra services. So under our title groups, we've used 5 out of our 10 title groups. And you can see here we've ordered 25 Windows Remote Desktop Services cows, so we can order 25 more. We've ordered 20 Small Business Server cows when Small Business Server was still available, and so we can order 30 more of those because there's a limit of 50. Windows Desktop Operating Systems, so that is the title group. And if I click on that, I can see here this is what's actually included in that Windows Desktop Operating System title group. So I can order up to 50 licenses as a combination of all of these products. So I could order 10 copies of Office 8, Windows 8 Pro 32-bit, 10 copies of Windows 8 Pro 64-bit, 10 copies of Enterprise, 10 copies of Windows 7 Professional, and 10 copies of Windows 7 Enterprise. And that would make up my 50 licenses. But then you can see here we've ordered a server last year. We got a new server, and we ordered a copy of SharePoint server. So you can see we've received 2 server products out of our limit of 5. So we have 3 left available. So if you ever have any questions about how much you've already ordered in terms of Microsoft, how much more you can order, all those kind of things, this is where you can go to get all of those answers laid out whenever you need it. So if you are looking for that, what you need to do is if you go to our homepage and you click, this is the homepage tab, and you click on the My Account button, which is partially obscured at the moment by the admin menu. So this page here will show your account information. So you can see here that Connecting Up is qualified for technology donations. And because we are multiple branch qualified, our Microsoft Donation Center link isn't here, but it would usually appear down here. Under What Can I Get, if I click on this, you can see very quickly, very easily, these are all the organisations that I'm eligible to place orders with. So it's very easy. You can see it all in one hit. If I want to, if I'm not eligible for Microsoft, it says here that I'm not, then I can click here to fill out a form to check whether I'm eligible for the Microsoft discount program. So all of our partners are here, and you can click on the links to go straight to have a look at their products. If you ever have any questions over your eligibility, then please just contact our customer support team, and they'll be happy to reassess your eligibility or have a look and explain things to you. So if I click on the donations link in the top menu, it'll take me to here. So this is the donations homepage, what used to be the Donatech homepage. See here basically the introduction and things. I have 2 refurbished BenQ projectors in my cart apparently. And I can now go through and I can order what I need. It's important to note that if you're placing a donation order, you can't have discount items in the same cart. You have to process them separately. So what I'll do is, if I want to order Microsoft software, I can do that just like I would using any other cart-based website, any other shopping website. So I might go and I might order Office 2013 Standard. And in the quantity field, just up here, you need to order 1 license per computer that you need licensed. So if I have 20 staff and they all have computers, I'm going to enter 20 into the quantity field. And then click Add to Cart. And I can't do that because I'm multiple branch qualified. If anybody on this call is multiple branch qualified, hopefully you know that you need to contact customer support to place your order. If you have multiple branches, there are slightly different rules about that. But I can order Adobe, so I'm going to do that instead. And you see here some of these products are currently not available. We're currently waiting on some more supplies of those. So I can add one of those to my cart, and that's been added to my shopping cart. And then I can go to review my cart, and this gives me the opportunity to remove it or update it or whatever I need to do. And then just click the checkout button. As part of this process, I just have to agree to a couple of things which are very standard. I have to, in the case of Adobe products, the Adobe products are all digital downloads, and with all the digital downloads, unless there's a problem with the software, there's no way of cancelling the licenses. So as soon as you get your Adobe keys, basically, then you can't return them. Adobe would just like you to agree to help them with a case study or testimonial if they ask. And all of our partners just ask you to agree that you don't discriminate. So on any particular grounds, just bearing in mind that there is a difference between discrimination and a difference between providing support services to a specific demographic or a specific area. So if you're a men's health charity, you're not discriminating against women. You're focused on men's health. So there's a slight difference there. So I can click qualify my order. And this is pretty common. So because we've already ordered an Adobe suite this year, I have exceeded the maximum allowed. So I can't order any more Adobe products. But that's okay, that's come up, that's told me, so I know what the go is, and I can act on that from there. In this case, I can order charity licenses. Otherwise, I could go through and I could select my payment option, whether I want to pay by check or whether I want to pay by check or whether I want to pay by credit card. We use PayPal as our credit card gateway. So you don't actually have to have a PayPal account to enter your credit card details. You can proceed without it. So if I have a look at our refurbished computer range, we have these brand new Lenovo desktops. And I can see here, brand new machine, it's $160. What we can do now, and this is relatively new, is you can select the amount of RAM that you need for that computer. So up to 8 gig, and it updates the price dynamically. You can add a high-speed wireless dongle, and you can add your antivirus. And if you're ordering large quantities of computers, there's a discount on them as well. And this is going to fail because I still have the Adobe products in my cart. Done. Alright, so now I can add my computers. And if you do have any problems while you're going through this process, then just give us a call and we'll be able to help you. So you can see here, these are our customized computers, and then we can just check out that cart. The entire order probably usually takes about 2 or 3 weeks to be delivered. And then it goes through. Once you've made your payment, and there's your discount as well. So there's a bulk discount on those as well. Alright, so that's pretty much the end of that. Do we have any questions?
Yes, we do have a couple here. So I'll just start from one of the earlier ones about the Microsoft Donation Center. Is there any way to link multiple branches into a single donation center, or do I need to log in to each one individually?
At this point in time, it's best to contact customer support. They can produce a specific report through our admin interface that shows how many licenses have been ordered by a specific ABN, because all your branches would share the one ABN. They can do that. We are still working on trying to get something for multiple branch users for a public website. Hopefully that won't be, well, hopefully that will be done. We're expecting a big website upgrade in the next couple of months, so hopefully that will happen then.
Question about Windows 8 and adapting to Windows 8, because some of the staff have had trouble adapting from Windows 7. I might just take this opportunity to also mention that we are running an Introduction to Windows 8 webinar next week. So that will go through the demo on Windows 8, what's new, how you can, hints and tips on how to use it better. So that will be next Thursday, the 9th of May. So that's, next Thursday, the 9th of May at 11 a.m. AEST. So hopefully that's a free webinar, so you can certainly join that and see how, as a user's point of view, you can use the Windows 8 better. Ryan, there's a question about placing order. If you don't have a product available, is it possible to place a standing order with you?
No, not at this stage, but that is something that we're looking into. It depends on the item as well. For the example of iMacs, we don't necessarily know when more stock's going to become available, so we don't want to accept standing orders because we don't want to disappoint you. But at the same time, we will email you as soon as they're available again. It's something that we've looked into, and it's something that we've considered, and it's something that we'll keep considering. But at this stage, no, it's not.
Here's a question about, are you able to offer thin clients for sale, which is something to be used instead of a PC to log into a server?
Not at this stage, no, but we are about to put some new materials up on the website about a Windows multi-point server, which can be used to do that, but instead of using thin clients, you can use old computers. So that might be appropriate, but at this stage we don't have any thin client hardware, no.
Can we leverage Microsoft licensing in an off-site hosted environment such as Server Exchange, etc.?
Yeah, sure. So this is one thing about the cloud migration at the moment. I was at the Third Sector conference 2 weeks ago, and a IT provider was actually talking about how not-for-profits could access their donated licenses through us and then install those licenses on their servers, and they would handle the setup and they would handle the installation. So the sheer amount that can be saved through the donations program can then be used to pay the implementation on doing something like that.
Can we purchase extended warranties from Connecting Up or the manufacturer for the refurbished PCs?
That's one thing I don't know. Your best bet for that would be to call or email customer care. It's customercare@connectingup.org. I think the answer is no, but it's worth asking the question.
Just generally, can you explain a bit more on how is eligibility determined?
The eligibility is determined based on the core purpose of your organisation. So if your organisation is a disability services provider and your core purpose is to provide help for people with disabilities to get them back into the workforce, but your one of the specific programs that you run which is a smaller program, might be a training centre to help those people, then we would consider you more on the aid to the disabled part rather than the training centre part. So it's the main thing that your organisation does. The eligibility is all determined by global guidelines which provide, in the case of most of our partners, they're global partners. So they're determined by Microsoft, by Symantec, by Adobe. They determine their specific areas of giving, and it's our job here in the office to try and fit everybody who registers for the program into a classification that explains what they do, and to try and make sure that they're eligible for as many donation partners as possible.
Going back to a question on accounting software, there were a few that came through about either Cloud Reckons or MyOb. Is this, this is something that a lot of people obviously need?
Well, Christine, this is something we're definitely looking at the moment. We have been discussing this with a number of different providers. There are two in particular that I can't name names that are currently looking at donation or discount programs in Australia, and hopefully we'll be able to announce something soon as we can confirm everything. But we definitely do know that that's something that everybody needs, and we're hoping to get something sooner rather than later. At the same time, at the moment, the only one that we offer is Calx's cash flow management program. Calx are a great Australian company that provide their cash flow management software as a donation to small community organisations.
Does anyone else have any other particular question about the program? There was a question earlier on, again, about Adobe Suites and then the licenses. For someone who's running, say, school or unis or classrooms, can they get a single suite license and then a volume license for, say, Photoshop?
Yeah, if you're a not-for-profit school, then you should be able to do that. There is some slightly different pricing for education than there is for charity. So if you are looking for something like that, the best bet is to email us through the specifics of that query so that we can help you out specifically for what you need.
Okay, does anyone else have any other particular question? We did ask about tablets before for refurbished, and you mentioned about some possible difficulties. I assume that will be similar difficulty on getting iPhones or refurbished phones in general?
Nobody would ever want one of my refurbished phones. The things that those poor little devices go through in their 2-year lifespan. We have been offered refurbished phones before, and we've turned them down because they were very old and they were quite out-of-date hardware. If something comes up that we think is a good offer for not-for-profits, and we're able to offer at a good price, then we will look at doing something like that. But these days, a lot of people look at just getting phones via their plan with their telco or something like that.
All right, well, we have gone slightly over time, and is that pretty much the end of your presentation, Ryan, or do you have anything else to add? We don't have any more questions at this point, so.
Well, no, I've covered everything I've got to cover, so unless anyone's got any more questions, we can finish up and thank everyone for coming.
In that case, thanks everyone for joining us. Thanks for all your questions. And as Ryan has mentioned numerous times, if you do have further questions specific to your organization's needs, please email us. Email Ryan directly at rj@connectingup.org, or you can email customercare@connectingup.org or call the 1300-731-844 number, and we'll try our best to help you. Thank you. Have a good afternoon, and I hope to see you at our next webinar. Bye.